Hey everyone, Ice King here. I'm joined here by AJ. He is back from his vacation,
Not a vacation. It
but
was terrible.
but we were back with the third episode of the FrostCast. Apologies for no FrostCast last week. Got a little sidetracked with holidays and him coming back, and everything kind of got a little messy. But yeah, holiday.
Yep.
So how was your holiday? Good.
Yeah, it was good. Didn't go anywhere. Just stayed at home with the twins and the little kid, and then we just ate turkey and vegged out most of the time. 'Cause it was rainy, so
Yeah,
not much to do outside right now.
that's kind of. I went up to see the wife's parents, and we ate a lot of food and kind of lazied around. Went to Black Friday shopping. Spent too much on Gundams. Nothing new here.
Yeah, I went across the river to Atlantis. They were having a big Black Friday sale, and I picked up a couple. I picked up Bennett to finish out. Now I have everything for Crucible Guard, and I picked up Madrak 3, even though he may or may not be in Mark 4. He was one of the casters. I was one of the two casters I'm missing, so now I'm only missing one, which is the Horgle 2 from my trolls, and that'll be a complete collection. So
That'll be cool. You gotta
yeah.
get some glass cases for that.
Yeah, and then tomorrow, Discount Games is running 40% off Monpok right now, so I'm probably gonna put an order in tonight to just finish out my collection of Monpok. So that's my shopping list.
Yeah, I think I bought. So for all the Gundam people out there, they did like a big re-release the last 2 years. There's a bunch of kids that are only available in Japan. Threw them up on their website. I got like half of them because they're cool and they're only in Japan, so I had to get them. So yeah, those will arrive in January, and basically a colony size drop of models.
Nice.
And then so yeah, what have you been painting on? Painting.
So nothing since I got back, but I have plans for Monpok. So I got Technomach, the Elementals. I got God Venma to paint, and then the Shamblers from the unit pack. So I'll probably paint those up next week for December point a day. Finished up the Kador while I was down there. Well, mostly finished up the Kador. I actually left the heads of the jacks here, but I was able to finish up the bodies and most of the arms while I was down there being bored. But yeah, nothing this week. But next week, I plan to get some time and start putting some paint on models for sure.
Yeah, I'm this week. I'm the same with last week. I didn't do much. I did a little bit of the Orgoth, and you'll see in this week's hobby roundup that'll be uploaded prior to this. So you'll know what I've worked on. But then my goal for this week is to finish your Orgoth arms, so we can have that done. Get a B-roll video posted up for everyone.
Just in time for the army box
Yes.
to drop and more arms to paint.
Oh, don't. That's like a nightmare fuel for me. Like, I don't know. I can't be the only one who's feeling like the arms is like a whole other army to paint.
It is. Like, I was painting the Kador arm. I couldn't paint them all. Like, I got too bored with it, because you paint the jack, the main body, and you're like, man, this is really looking cool. And then you get to, I got to maybe 5 arms before I finally was like, all right, I need to take a break because this is getting really boring.
Like,
So,
I have them all here. You can kind of see them. They're looking great,
yeah,
but oh my god.
it's just because it's like each one is an individual model now. Maybe save the heads because they're so tiny, but the arms, they're like a small, like an infantry base guy.
Yeah.
To paint, and it's just tedious over a long period of time. So
Yeah.
not that I don't like it. I love it having 64 jack options,
Forever.
in my army forever. But still, it's a rough paint job.
And like for the beauty of future models, like when you buy a new jack, you don't have to paint the arms again. You just got to paint the one arm set you'll use.
Yeah.
Or like maybe 2 arm sets that you'll probably switch in between, because you'll use that on maybe both jacks. But then you have all the other arms done up already, so you can keep them in a box for a day you might need them. So another notable thing, I got a resin printer, so I should have some fun. We're gonna probably put some terrain up with it and get some cool bat reps for you guys going, but that's gonna take some time to experiment, and I get to learn how Privateer Press did about printing. So I'm sure my first few prints are gonna be god awful. Can't wait.
Yeah, we do. For our first battle report, we're probably going to use a lot of the bulldozer terrain, just because. But with the steamroller dropping next week, beta
On the 30th.
on the 30th, hopefully in 3 days we'll have a bat rep out by next week with those rules to test them out.
Yeah, I should have all the old ret models, so I can get a ret. We can get a ret game going with probably some unpainted minis. You got plenty of trolls and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have some older stuff, but we'll definitely get some games out for sure, which I'm excited to play Mark IV because I have not sunk my teeth in like you have for the rules.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah,
Get some videos
I'm excited
out
to see the preview because I'm sure they're probably gonna make some changes from their initial like, here's what we're doing thing.
Right.
And for those who don't know, today the Dusk ships. Very excited. Hopefully they don't take a month to get here like my Codor did.
No, they'll take probably 5 days. So you're probably looking at next week, maybe.
Yeah.
At the latest, this week more than likely.
Super excited, but I have told myself I'm not putting paint on those models till Codor is done. So that's my motivation to finish my Codor.
Nice.
Yeah. And then that kind of sums up what we did last week's news.
Yep.
We're gonna go into hot take corner a little earlier than
Yeah.
expected.
So I guess this guy Jacob, thanks for posting, Jacob. The next expansion is Crick's Protectorate tag team with Kane at the helm against Zoo defending their lands.
You want to break that down for me a little
You
bit?
had no idea what this was, and it's a good thing that I can read. Not well, but I can read. But what he's talking about is Protectorate at the end of in Mark 4 have went to the Zoo lands, which is down south. And the only model we really have, maybe like one or two, but the main one is the Totem Hunter.
Mhm.
And a lot of people talk about Zoo as like being this wild like land with dinosaurs and all kinds of craziness going on. But Crix in the latest RPG has actually set sail towards Zoo. So Protectorate is theoretically already there, setting up base camp. Crix is on the way, and the rumor mill, which is very low confidence right now, is one of the new Horde armies will be a Zoo army, which has been like talked about, I think, since I started playing in Mark II and the Totem Hunter dropped, and they were like, oh, this will be the next army. And then Convergence came, and then Grimkin came, and then Infernals came, and now Orgoth came. So, yeah, he's pulling up a Totem Hunter now.
You type.
Okay, I'll type.
Because I don't know.
Apparently he can't read or type, so...
Yeah, I'm kind of brain dead.
So it's this guy.
You
Pick the worst picture ever.
I really did.
So that's what he looks like.
Oh, his face is weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think Jacob's comment is that far off. However, Kane at the helm, ooh, I think more than likely Crix is going to show up and they're going to have the old animosity with Minoth, because this is a splinter faction of one of the Minoth, one of the three Minoth factions, so I don't think they're going to get along. And Zoo is definitely not going to be happy that they're there either, so it's probably just going to be a big fight between everyone.
Yeah. That'd be cool, though. I mean, when was the last time we saw a new Hordes army?
Grimkin, so 27, 16? 16-ish?
That's still a good amount of time.
Yeah. So yeah, because it was Convergence, Grimkin, then Infernals, then
Yeah.
Orgoth. So, but I don't know whether you want to count. Infernals are kind of like their own thing. They're War Machine, I guess, technically, but they kind of have abilities of both with, like, transferring damage, you know. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. But last official Hordes army was Grimkin. So,
That'll be fine. I hope that. I mean, that makes sense with them getting their Mark IV update and them to also get a new army, kind of like Orgoth.
yeah.
So Ancient Evil, Zoo, Dinosaurs. This guy, the Totem Hunter, kind of looks like a Beast Handler. I mean,
Kind of does, yeah.
So-
Not the Scorn Beast Handler, but just a Beast Handler.
Yeah, like in general. Like
Yeah.
he's like prodding at a T-Rex basically.
Yeah.
Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna use Monpok models on 40 mil basis.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all, actually.
That's my hot take. They're gonna
Yeah.
use Monpok models.
Just upscale some of the 3D renders, and boom, you got yourself a
Colossal.
yeah.
That'll be cool. That'll be exciting. And so, do you know the time frame for Horde stuff?
So the two new Horde armies will be out at Gen Con. Will be announced at Gen Con
Next year.
maybe released at Gen Con. I forget. It's changing, obviously.
Yeah,
with
'cause
their
the delays
time
and
frame.
stuff.
But the last thing I saw was like Gen Con 2 new Horde factions. Now I don't know if that or 2 new Horde armies. That doesn't necessarily mean they're new factions. Because
Oh.
Zoo would be a new faction, but I mean Orgoth is a new faction / army. So
And then they did like the new Signar too.
right, so they
So they
did
can
one
do-
new, one old. So it's not that far fetched. I think.
No.
I think Zoo being an army, maybe, unless they go like a crazy route, like they kill, like they did with the Ret. They kill all the Rets and now they're vampires. Well, not all the Ret, but they kill the Ret and they're
I
vampires.
guess it is kind of a whole new army because all of them look like way different than the old ret.
Yeah.
And like the jacks are dramatically different.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what threw my painting off.
Very Warcastery.
Yeah, I do. That's why. And after that, I looked at the Warcast models. I was like, these look kind of cool. And I never really paid much attention to them. I'm like, these are kind of neat. Not enough for me to play it, but for me to like it.
Yeah, Warcaster's a good game. I played it a few times, and our friend Jonathan, who does the War Budgies channel, he loves the game. So I played a few times with him. It does. Now that I played Warcaster and Mark IV, I can see that Warcaster was the beta test for the Mark IV rules. So a lot of the Mark IV changes are from Warcaster. So
it's pretty cool. It's funny how they can use a whole other game as a beta test. When you think about it.
Well, that comes from that. So little history lesson here.
There we go.
If you didn't know, actually, Privateer Press was producing Marvel Crisis Protocol. Then some things happened, and some people left, and then took that with them to Fantasy Flight, and then they had to put out a game. That game was Warcaster, because they had all this development into it. And then now Atomic Mass Games, who have a lot of former Privateer Press people at it, produce Marvel Crisis Protocol.
That's a little lore for you about the real life.
Yeah, the real life, not the fake life.
The one we wish we were living.
Yeah. Yeah, so nice hot take, Jacob. I don't hate the idea of Kane leading the way, but I don't know if that's going to happen. That's what I'll say.
You know what? I'll be on your side, Jacob. I will bet they will work together.
Okay.
I'm always here for like the weird the weird thing to work out, but I'm sure there will be backstabbing later in the lore, like 1,000%.
Like Gorshade level backstabbing, or
I know that lore. That hurts.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting though. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah. So if you guys want to leave a comment on so basically the armies we have are Infernals, Trolls, Crucible Guard, and I have Crix for the Bane Warrior Crix, and then you have Ret, and Legion, some Legion.
Very little Legion.
Very little Legion. So if you guys want to put in the comments what battle report you'd like to see, we can build those armies and get those painted up.
And I'll leave a full list of what we have and what could probably do points wise for each army in the comments or in the description below, so you can kind of like pick and choose from that. Like give us a couple ideas, maybe a couple themes for battles.
I think the only thing we probably lack is maybe Legion to do like a full like 50 or 75 points. Everything
we could do like a skirmish Legion game, because I have Bag 2, a couple beasts, and one solo.
Okay.
Two of the same solo actually.
Okay. So maybe not Legion, unless somebody really, or if y'all really want to see Legion on the board, we can do that. But
we can go figure out some stuff for Legion if we need to.
And we'd like to play probably at least 50, probably 75 points in that area.
Whatever's gonna be like the old 75.
So after building some armies, 75 to 100 feels like the old 75. Because like I've had my old Trolls list and I have my old Infernals list, and when I build them out, like when you go to 75 on Mark IV, it feels like you've got like almost everything, and then when you go to 100, it feels like you've got more than enough points.
That's the requisition cards basically.
It feels like that. Exactly. Yeah.
You had 75 points, then you had the 25 points almost in requisition cards.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you had that problem on the War Room app for me. In my display, that's the War Room app. It's just a blank circle, and then when I tap on it, it loads in.
I don't have mine like that. I have mine on my main page. So.
Let's see what happens if I do that. Oh, it's fine. It's just a Google phone thing. My phone's, I have the Pixel 3, and it's been interesting lately. Yeah. It'll randomly pause, and I'll have to restart the whole app. Oh, when I moved it back, it fixed.
There you go.
Yeah. Simple IT.
Glad I could help you
Turn it off and back on again.
All right. Well, I mean, anything else?
Yeah, kind of a shorter podcast.
Yeah.
But if you guys have any questions or things you want us to talk about, ideas for us to keep going, where are we at? Oh, we're at 15 minutes. We got to figure out something.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, that ain't gonna, like, that's not a podcast. That's like that's a YouTube video I listen to while I'm pooping.
Okay.
What do you
want to talk about?
Doing it live.
Doing it live.
So for my dusk, you saw my color schemes. What do you think would look the best? I know we've talked about it a few times, but filling some void space here. I think I'm set on the red.
You set on the red. I don't hate the red. I do think if you go with the red, I don't think the purple's the way to go.
I think I'm gonna do all red.
All red,
like a bright red glow, maroon-ish like cloth, like the torso. That's gonna be maroon. I think I'm like gonna go with like those hidden crypt bases.
Okay.
So like ancient church temple that's been decrepit to fit that like undead vibe.
Which is so strange because they're not decrepit. They're like new undead.
They're new undead.
They're
They're
new.
freshly dead.
Yeah, they're
freshly undead.
Freshly undead. That's right.
It is so because like the aesthetic of the models is so like I've been dead for 100 years, but I'm still barely breathing.
Yeah, but not these guys. These guys, I've been dead for like 5 minutes. Let's go save the world.
It's like they step through a portal and they're like, I look like this now.
Yep.
Okay. My leader killed our gods and now I'm fucking dead. Thanks.
Oh, language. Kids might be listening.
Definitely.
So a couple things. I guess I'll talk about some Monpok things. They're doing a big tournament at LVO. So Las Vegas Open.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in that, I think they're going to be giving away tournament or trophies, a bunch of prize support. So even if you go sign up, play like a game or two in the tournament, I mean you're going to win something easily because like
is this online or they're in person?
They're gonna this is actually in person.
Okay.
So they're gonna have the trophies for I think there's like 6 trophies for the 2 events and the painting, and there's just gonna have a ton of prize support. So if you play, you're gonna get something, even if you don't play Monpok. And if you don't play Monpok, you should, because it's awesome.
Monpok is very fun. I will say I like War Machine for the sense of how competitive I feel like I can get with it, but maybe I haven't delved into that side of Monpok. I will eventually. But Monpok playing casually is so simple. It's so fun.
Yeah.
On my deployment, I brought it out there, and literally I would teach people in like 10 minutes, and they're like, this is awesome. Let's do this again next weekend. Because we would go on the weekends. We'd play at like the local little like common area. And it was a blast. People love beating up bigger monsters with other big monsters.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of Monpok. It can be as simple or as complex.
Yeah.
Because the game is like very layered. So you can play like monster versus monster. Then when you add certain units in, then when you add buildings in, it just creates layers upon layers of difficulty and competitiveness. But it's perfectly fine as just hey, I'm going to pick this tentacle monster, I'm going to pick this rock monster, and we're going to fight each other and throw each other at buildings.
And every time you take damage, you take a drink kind of thing.
Yeah, or whatever you want to do. You know?
Yeah, to me, it's like that casual game. And like teaching others War Machine or trying to get them into War Machine is so hard to explain to them. Because there's so much going on at once.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've tried to teach people 40k in the past, and it is much. Back in older editions, it was much easier to teach because it was this turn you move, then you shoot, then you charge, and like it was very organized. And I guess one of the reasons I like War Machine so much is because it's so intricate. You have to time your events and time your units. Like, oh, this guy does this, then he does this, then he pulls this guy into the next guy. There's a lot of thinking and a lot of like on the fly changes you'll have to make.
Very order of activation.
Yeah.
You gotta figure that out.
I learned how to do that by playing card games. I'm still bad at it.
Yeah. But yeah, check out that. I know the World WTC just got announced in Belgium, so we'll probably be heading to that for sure.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
Yeah, 1000%.
Barely gonna be scraping into Adepticon.
I hope so. Yeah, or at least Warfare Weekend. If I'm not.
Where's that one?
That's in St. Louis.
Okay.
That one happened while I was.
So next November.
Next November.
Oh, that should be much easier to plan for.
Yeah, and St. Louis is not a terrible city, so pretty easy to get around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice to make it to Adepticon. We're hoping.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta see where things go with these recent changes.
Yep. And we should talk about this. So the guys over at Tried and True and girl, maybe, not sure. Sorry, I messed that up. They are doing a coin challenge for the Nova Open.
And wrong, by the way.
What?
You spelled and wrong. By the way.
Well,
you put a B instead of an N.
You know what? Nobody likes you. That's fine.
That's true. You know, Jacob likes me. Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah. You know what, Jacob? You know what? I hope you don't like him. You know what? Why don't you tell him what you're really feeling?
Oh man.
Where's the Atlantis Gaming Group? Anyway, so what they're doing is they made 16 coins, and this is basically they're up in Delaware. They're thinking about shipping a coin down to our area to play, and what it does is you have a coin, and anybody can challenge you to a game, and if you lose, you have to give them your coin.
Oh.
Now, at the end, when Nova comes around, you get to play in a 16-person tournament if you have your coin.
So it's like a ticket. It's pinks with a ticket to a tournament.
Sure, yeah, that's a good way to look at
It's
it. Playing
pinks.
for pinks, yeah. So, I think it's a great idea. I do hope we get a coin down here so we can start playing more with the guys across the river, because sometimes it's hard to get over there.
Yeah.
But I think that's really interesting. So if anybody else is interested in that, hit up the Tried and True podcast. They do some great work and make some great videos, and this is something that is pretty cool in my opinion.
Is there anything we can do to try to help that come down more?
No, the guys over at Atlantis already
doing that?
like emailed them, and the guy Jay, his name is Jay Powell, he's already in talks with getting the coin down here in this area, in the Norfolk area, Norfolk Hampton Roads. Hopefully we'll have a coin for Nova. If not, somebody will from down here, I guess. I know they're going to start running monthly tournaments down here again. They're going to say they were going to try to do that. I know there's a tournament Tuesday, which obviously I cannot make. You might be able to go to it for the longest wait down at Atlantis Comics and Games.
I have Jim.
Okay. Well, if you can take some time off from your boyfriend Jim.
Look, he is my favorite, and he makes my muscles bigger.
I bet he does. I bet he does. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have that I can come up with off my head. Unless Jacob wants to talk about some more lore stuff that you have no idea about. And...
What's a good fun lore fact that I don't know?
Well, let's see.
I know the ret stuff. And how
You know most of the red stuff. Yeah, you know most of the red stuff. What's a good, interesting lore fact?
Like, what's your favorite part of the lore right now? If you had to pick like one event.
My favorite part of the lore, it might be cheesy, but Chromac and Madrak. Madrak had Ragnarok, and Chromac took it from him. That was a really cool point in the lore. But without, I think this is kind of like a recency bias. I loved the Infernal Invasion. I think I didn't like the Twitter hinge hold scroll thing, but I think the lore behind it and like lots of people dying and like high stakes that it brought, and then it made the Dusk and it made Gorgeshade show his true colors again, even though like, ooh, big surprise, he's evil again, but
who would have thought?
It really forced a lot of characters in the lore to make a lot of hard decisions, and it was interesting to see where everyone went.
Yeah, and how this is gonna it was like a turning point for the story, and we're gonna see how that plays out in the next.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, it's kind of cheesy to pick that point, but it was kind of like the point that turned things around. So
Start of a new era.
Start of a new era, like a new mark.
Yeah,
a Mark IV, if you will.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Name drop.
Other than that, I'll tell you the part of the lore I don't like is Haley going like through like, I think it's like alternate dimensions and killing herself so she can be the one throughout the dimensions.
I think I remember reading that like vaguely. I was so confused of what was happening.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those stories like, it's like it's cool until you read it. It's like, oh, that's cool, and then you think about it, and it's like, huh? It's kind of one of those too deep, too cerebral for me. That's too deep in the lore. No, but what about?
I mean, like, I don't know the lore well enough to have a favorite.
Well, from what you know, I guess Big Gorshade, right? No, Falshir.
Falshir doing taking the fat L to die to protect the rest of the souls, but like, I love House Euler, however you say it. That's a weird Ellou.
Eloir.
Yeah,
Eloir.
Someone can help us in the comments with that one. But I love those models. I love Falshir, and I love her stepping up and unfortunately dying. Like, she's still one of my favorite models and forever will be.
Yeah, great model.
Yeah, and I started doing some custom work on her to make her look like my avatar a little bit, but like the queen of my avatar, because I'm the king. That's how I was doing it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It was really cool. And then she's died. So I'm like, do I need to work on her right now?
Well, yeah, you need to make the tribute.
Oh, true.
Get
a shrine.
Yeah, get a shrine to her. Take her with you to all the tournaments and be like, This
This
is
is
what
my
I'm
queen.
fighting for. You know.
Oh, so now that if we're gonna do in-person tournaments, I have to print my mask because no one's. I'm a skeleton. I gotta cover that up.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah.
That's on you.
I'll have to get that. I will forever remain the spooky Ice King.
Yeah. Oh, the guy loved the Deepkin that I painted,
Did he?
even though they were not great. But, you know.
And you got more for yourself?
What?
What did you pick up?
Oh, so yeah, so if you remember from the last podcast, guy paid me to paint a bunch of Deepkin for him. I got him to him when I went to Charleston. He paid me, and then he gave me some Caradron Overlords. He
Oh,
just
the
had,
Caradon. That's who.
Yeah,
that
the dwarves, space dwarves.
What do you think of my idea for the color scheme?
I do like that. I'm gonna try it probably when I get some time. When my mom park's done.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I'll probably give that a shot.
So for all of you who watch The Hobbit, when they go to Erebor, inside the ancient dwarven stronghold, it's like green marble with gold trim.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's a cool idea for dwarves. Because I was originally gonna do my space dwarves because there's a Kickstarter that I follow for Mini Wargaming. They're doing space dwarves up next. They're in the planning stage now. I was gonna paint them like that, but if you go for it,
I mean,
both have them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have the old versions. I have the sci-fi version.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think for me.
Sums it up. We will be back next week with episode 4. Yeah, 4.
4. That's how it goes.
We're 4 episodes in, already losing track. Can't wait.
So next episode, hopefully we'll have a battle report either in the works or to follow up with.
Yep.
Definitely gonna try to get that out for you. So post the comments on what you want to see.
Yeah.
We can get that done
Will
hopefully
be
this week. Sometime.
Even crazier is if my Dusk arrived on Friday.
I think they will. I bet Thursday.
That's your bet?
I bet Thursday. I'm gonna say Thursday.
I'm gonna bet Monday.
Wow.
Okay.
No faith.
No faith. I have some faith. It's within 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I didn't see a post from them saying they shipped today.
But you saw that it shipped, right? They weren't working today. It's Sunday.
Well, okay. The post from them said they're shipping on Sunday. From Privateer Press about a week and a half ago.
Right.
They said they're shipping on Sunday.
And you're shipping updated today?
No.
Oh, well then how do you know it shipped?
I don't. I'm just going off what they said.
Oh, no, you gotta go. You know what? We're doing this live.
Look, I'm taking them for their value because I didn't see a post saying otherwise. I hope I saved my password. I did.
Yeah, you gotta go to your orders. You don't even have an order in.
That is the order.
Awaiting fulfillment. Yeah, they didn't ship. Yeah, they're awaiting fulfillment.
Sad
when
days.
that changes to shipped,
Well, yeah.
then it is shipped.
I was just hoping it would update tomorrow and they were packing them up today.
I mean, maybe.
Because I got my thing. I got my 4 cereal pins.
Yeah.
And you're Chibi Asmodeus.
Hey, Omadomos.
What's my
Yeah,
bad.
Omadamos. Okay.
It's adorable. I had to order it. My Raisin Ron. All right, yeah. That sums it up. Short podcast this week, so give us some more questions and more things to talk about. Jacob, thank you again for always being there and a great supporter. Big love. And then, we'll see you next week. Bye.
See you next week.